How did Robert Herjavec, the famous Shark Tank investor and multimillionaire, get rich? That's what we'll answer in today's episode.
My name is Dan Henry, and when I was 16 years old, I decided that I wanted to be rich. So I studied as many wealthy entrepreneurs as I could and used what I learned to create my own successful business. The purpose of this channel is to share my research with the world and show you how they got rich.
Self-made multimillionaire Robert Herjavec, also known as the nice judge on the hit show Shark Tank, has an estimated net worth of more than $200 million. The entrepreneur and investor runs the biggest cybersecurity company in Canada, called the Herjavec Group. He also happens to be a best-selling author. As successful as he is now, Robert Herjavec comes from an unexpectedly humble beginnings. He and his family came to Canada from an impoverished country with nothing except a single suitcase and $20 in hand. When Robert first arrived, he didn't speak a word of English. With no resources, finances, or even a grasp of his new language he needed to learn. How did Robert Herjavec get rich? Born in 1962 into what is now Croatia, he grew up in poverty, and his father was often arrested for speaking up against the communist system in Yugoslavia. Despite having grown up poor, Robert never speaks badly of his childhood. He says, "I was lucky to grow up like that. We were poor financially, but we were never devoid of spirit or love or support or encouragement." After the 23rd time his father was thrown in jail, they were given a warning that the next time he spoke out would be his last. That same day, his father packed up his family and took them across the border to Italy and onto a boat headed toward a new life. They were moving somewhere they could be free to speak their own mind without fear of imprisonment. In 1970, they arrived in Canada when Robert was just 8 years old. At the time, he spoke no English, and he and his family were living in the basement of a friend. It wasn't easy to be an immigrant in the 70s. When Robert was a child, he used to say to his mom, "The world hates me. Nobody's nice to me. I have no friends, and all these kids have better lives than me." Regardless of the struggles they faced upon arriving, Robert credits this move to Canada as the catalyst that instilled in him a strong passion for hard work, critical thinking, and innovation. Even though he didn't speak a word of English when he first moved to Canada, he graduated college at the age of 22 with a degree in English literature and political science from the University of Toronto. When explaining why he chose this degree, Robert said, "The ability to communicate is fundamental to what I do." Robert got his first big professional break in the film industry. He wound up working as a field producer in 1984 as the world was gearing up for the Winter Olympic Games. Turns out, they were held in Sarajevo, a place close to home in Yugoslavia. While Robert enjoyed working in the film industry, he had a hunch that it was time to make a change. He once said, "One day, my best friend at the time complained that he didn't get this job with a tech company that was going to pay $30,000 a year. In 1985, that was a lot of money, so I decided to interview for it." He applied for the job even though he wasn't technically or professionally qualified for the role. He said he'd work for free for the first 6 months if they'd give him a shot. A free 6 months of work was something that the hiring manager just couldn't refuse, so they gave him a chance, and LogicQuest decided to hire him. Since he wasn't being paid, he had to wait tables at night in order to barely scrape by. But after 6 months, his motivation, passion, and hard work had earned him a permanent salary, one that he could comfortably live off of. In the years that he was with LogicQuest, Robert's strong work ethic helped him to stand out from his colleagues. He rose quickly through the ranks, eventually rising as high as president of the company. But his career with LogicQuest came to a swift end when Robert was let go in 1990. Left with no job and bills to pay, Robert faced a difficult decision. In an interview with Inc. magazine, he explains, "I got fired. I was one of those guys who never wanted to start their own business. I never saw myself as a leader. I saw myself as a great number two. I just wanted to do a good job and make a little more money every year." With no other options in sight, Robert got to work starting his own business. He started Brack Systems from his basement, and it quickly grew to be the largest internet security firm in Canada. In 2000, the company was acquired by telecom giant AT&T for $30 million. From there, Robert left his company to work for another company known as Ramp Network. He served as vice president of sales up until the moment that company was sold to another telecom giant, Nokia, for $225 million. Even though he only became an entrepreneur because he needed to pay his mortgage, Robert realized he had a knack for creating successful businesses, and he rather enjoyed doing it. In 2003, he went on to form yet another company, this one called the Herjavec Group. Designed to provide information security services to companies, the Herjavec Group is still active today, and it's one that Herjavec sees himself owning for the long haul. In speaking about his plans for the future, he says, "No, I'm not selling this one. Not for a long, long time. I'm really inspired to build a billion-dollar company." He's well on his way, too. Since its inception, his company's revenue has grown to more than $200 million in sales per year. Robert's knack for investing and his passion as a dedicated businessman was soon recognized by the hit Canadian investment television show Dragon's Den. Just like his good friend Kevin O'Leary, this is where Robert got his big break in television. He remained on the show for a total of 6 seasons before going on to serve as an investor on the American show Shark Tank. Robert Herjavec's journey to success wasn't an easy one, but it is inspiring to see how he made his millions. Today, he works to encourage young entrepreneurs and investors to ensure that they have the confidence that they need to achieve their goals. When it comes to chasing your dreams, he said it's not about being somebody else. It's about being you and having the confidence and respect in yourself to be able to push back. Robert isn't your stereotypical entrepreneur. In an interview with Business Insider, he said, "Mark Cuban and I always argue about this. He's always, when I was 12, I knew I was going to start my own business. When I was 12, I didn't know anything. I just wanted to go outside and play. I only started a business because somebody fired me." He didn't grow up wanting to start his own business. He started a business because he had bills to pay. Yet out of that grew one of the most successful businessmen of our time. He lived out the American dream, starting with nothing and going on to build an empire. But as Robert Herjavec said, it's not just the American dream, it's everyone's dream.
Hey, Dan Henry here, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of How They Got Rich. I created this channel because these men and women inspired me to quit my job years ago as a pizza boy and pursue entrepreneurship, which eventually led me to become a multi-millionaire. If you'd like to know more about that, you can follow me on my main YouTube channel, youtube.com/Dan Henry. But before you go, I'd like to remind you why the people on this channel are successful, as well as myself. It's because they've mastered 3 main areas of their life: business, productivity, and mindset. And that's why I've made it my life's work to help others in those 3 key areas. So here are 3 ways I can help you right now. If you own a business and you're looking to grow it, you can head over to getclients.com and learn how we built a $20 million business, as well as learn how these strategies can apply to your business. You'll find a collection of free trainings, podcasts, and blog posts on that website to help you grow your business. As well, you can grab a free copy of my book, Digital Millionaire Secrets, which is a Wall Street Journal and USA Today bestseller. You can find that on getclients.com. Number 2, you can head over to plantomorrow.com and check out the Plan Tomorrow Daily Planner. This is a planner I personally designed to make myself more productive and get things done. Because the truth is, if you want to do big things, you have to get things done. And I know this planner will help change your life like it's changed mine. For a limited time, it also comes with a free productivity class taught by me. So head over there right now and grab yourself a copy. And finally, number 3, if you're struggling with mindset, confidence, motivation, imposter syndrome, or you're just looking to develop a rock-solid mindset so you can achieve more in life, then I want you to head over to howtothink.com, where we have daily mindset mentoring on how to achieve anything in life by changing the way you think. So grab a copy of your Plan Tomorrow Daily Planner now. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next episode.